Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Now today I wanted to make a video explaining everything that I know about how sniping works and how I snipe basically, and I want to teach you guys how to be better snipers because I don't really see that many snipers out there, and I just want a lot of people to like appreciate sniping and start sniping more than people really do. So yeah, I'll just be giving out like pointers and stuff. So first off, I want to talk about sensitivity, and this thing is super important. So I do have my Roblox sensitivity at 2, and then for Phantom Forces I have it at -2, yeah, for the aim sensitivity. And you want your sensitivity, it doesn't have to be my exact settings or anything, but you want it to feel comfortable, and it's the same with trick shotting. But you want your sensitivity to feel comfortable. You don't want it to be too fast because otherwise you just will not be able to hit headshots. But you also don't want it to be too slow because then it's just going to take forever to line up your shot. So you want it at that perfect speed where it's not too fast but it's not too slow. So once you have the right sensitivity, you're gonna want to learn the snipers and basically learn like which ones are good for which situations and stuff like that. The R700, which is what I'm using right now, it's like quite a fast sniper. It's got 7 bullets in the mag, so it's fairly good for feeding and stuff like that. Something like the intervention is a bit slower. They all have different bullet drops, so just play around with the snipers, get to know the snipers, see which ones you prefer, see which ones you don't like, and then you'll be able to snipe better if you know sort of how the snipers work each individually. And the bullet drop, you really need to learn the bullet drop or else you will not be a good sniper. The thing is, a lot of people want to go learn the bullet drop by adding a ballistics tracker, right? And that's not good, okay? You don't want to use the ballistics tracker because all you're doing is trying to line up with the yellow dot, right? But you're not really learning how the sniper actually works. So what I'd recommend, just use a sniper for a bit. Whichever one you're more comfortable with, go with that one first and just learn how it works and learn the bullet drop. Some snipers are gonna have more bullet drop, some will have less. It all depends, but yeah, you really need to learn how the snipers work. And then my third tip for you guys, I know this probably goes without saying, but you want to hit headshots, right? As much as possible, you want to hit those headshots, because if you don't hit those headshots and you get a body shot, you might not kill the guy. However, if you do hit a headshot, it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna kill the guy. So yeah, go for headshots all the time. If you're in a really panicky situation, let's say you're feeding and then you know you can't hit the headshot, then go for a body shot or go for 2 body shots. But for the most part, I would recommend only going for headshots. As time goes by and as you learn how to snipe better, you're gonna learn how to hit headshots a lot better. You're just gonna get better at it. Like, practice is like the most important thing. But yeah, tracking players and anticipating movements is something really important to sniping. So you see what I did there? I anticipated the fact that he was going to keep moving, and then I moved my crosshairs in the direction that he was moving because I knew he was going to continue moving that way. So I put my crosshairs, like as he was walking along, I put him in front of him and then shot because like I just knew he was going to keep going that way. So yeah, that's something you want to do. And then let's say there's a guy and he's like moving back and forth and he's going in sort of a zigzag pattern, which a lot of people do, and it's really annoying. But the thing you can do with this is don't try to like follow him like this. Just know that he's gonna go there and then he's gonna go back there. Just have your crosshairs aimed at that spot that you know he's gonna go back to, and then shoot when he gets there. And again, this is something that's gonna take practice, but yeah, you'll learn it eventually. And when someone's running this way from far distance, they're just moving in a straight line, you're going to want to like aim in front of them so that, because there is a little bit of bullet travel time, when you shoot, the bullet actually gets to them and it doesn't like fall behind them, which is like something that I don't really like to do, but like, okay. See how that guy was like moving about and then he started going in a straight line. I put my mouse where he was going to go to, but yeah, that's something you want to do. But like I was saying, if someone's moving along a straight line, you want to aim a bit in front of them, because otherwise it just won't hit them. Hold on. Uh-oh. I'm gonna die. Okay, that was kind of cool. Okay, but anyways, next tip I have for you guys is don't rush your shots, okay? I don't know why he's like in the floor. But yeah, this is something that even I've been trying to work on, and you just cannot rush your shots. Like see how I took my time? I didn't even really get the headshot. But here's what I do. Like, I have my, what's it called? My crosshairs aimed at someone for about half a second before I shoot them. like that, like it just helps you just make sure that your shot is going to hit and it's going to be accurate. Otherwise, if you scope in and then you lock onto his head and you shoot immediately, you're most likely gonna like not hit that shot because you didn't take enough time to make sure that your shot was accurate. Oh, that was a guy right next to me. But yeah, I usually lock onto the guy and then I wait about half a second until I pull the trigger or click the mouse button, if you will. Okay, the next tip I have for you guys, this is something that not a lot of people really notice, but you want to be able to no-scope people so that when you like place your crosshair on someone when you're about to snipe them, if you try to line up the no-scope beforehand, your crosshair when you scope in is going to be much closer to them, which is going to allow you to hit that shot much more easily and much faster. So like, let me try to give an example real quick. So like right there, you don't want to have your crosshair like over here so that you have to move like all the way over there. It's called hard scoping and you don't want to do that, okay? You want to line up the no scope like before you scope in, and then once you're close, you want to scope in and then you'll be closer to the guy so that you won't have to like move your cursor a large amount of distance while you're scoped in. And that it just really helps with like speed. It allows you to have like lower sensitivity so you don't have to move your mouse too much when you're trying to snipe someone. But yeah, that is just something that's really important that I really don't see anyone talk about. Like when they're trying to teach someone how to snipe, I never really see that being told. So yeah, that's something you really want to do. And the way to practice this is just go for no scopes. And if you want to, you can always just go for a no scope if they're like in the general area and they're not too far away, which is like something that's really helpful. If you don't have time to like fully scope in, or if there's a person who's just simply too close that you don't feel comfortable with scoping in, then knowing how to no scope is really helpful because you know you don't have to take the time to scope in and everything. It also helps with quick scopes too. Being able to no scope will allow you to like lock onto your guy so that when you try to go for a quick scope, you're not gonna really have any trouble hitting the quick scope as long as like you know how to no scope and you're able to lock on your crosshairs on someone like before you scope in. All right, and one final tip I have for you guys for just regular sniping is that you want to be able to know how to like strafe well but not uncleanly, okay? And what I mean by this, okay, strafing is when you shoot and then you kind of move back and forth like that before you go for your next shot. He died. But yeah, you want to be able to strafe so that you avoid people shooting at you while you're not sniping them, but at the same time it doesn't mess up your clip and make it look unclean. Because like if you go like this, right, if you snipe the guy and then you do that, I mean that just doesn't look clean. I mean it might save you from dying, right, but no one's gonna want to edit that if you're going for feeds or stuff, and I'll get into feeds a little bit later. But yeah, you want to know how to strafe effectively but don't make it look like terrible. Okay, yeah, you shoot the guy and then you move back and forth, like you shoot him and then you go this way and you go that way and then you line up the next shot. That doesn't really look unclean, but it definitely does help you stay alive. So yeah, strafing is really important to like staying alive and not dying. All right, now I want to talk about feeding. And if you don't know what feeding is, it's basically when, okay, so you get consecutive kills in the kill feed, and in order to hit an actual feed, I just missed a triple. But in order to get an actual feed, you need to get 6 consecutive kills in the kill feed. But yeah, feeding has definitely gotten a lot harder since it used to be. So I'm just gonna try to, like, I'm not the best feeder in the world, but I'll try to give you guys some tips on how to like be a better feeder. So yeah, I already told you guys the standards. 6 on is the minimum, or 6 man. I guess I wouldn't probably use a 6 man, but 6 on is the minimum. 6 man is basically when you get 6 people in a row, but one of the kills you can't see, or a couple of the kills you can't see. So first tip I have for you guys in terms of feeding is prioritizing your enemies. Okay, so for prioritization, okay, let's say you're on 3 kills, right, in the kill feed, and then you have a guy over there and your teammate is right over there and they're going at it, okay? One of them is bound to die. And then you see a guy way over there sitting camping right there and he's just laying down and there's no one near him. You want to go for this guy because you want to eliminate any potential for your feed to get split, which is when someone gets a kill in the kill feed and it disturbs your like 6 kills or whatever. So you want to go for the people that are the most threat to splitting you so that you know you don't get split. And this takes some practice. I mean, feeding in general takes practice, but yeah, you want to be able to see like the people that you're going for. And then if you see 2 people and there's one guy who's like for sure gonna kill your teammate or kill you or whatever, you want to go for that guy first. Okay, next tip I have for you: learn the spawn traps if you want to be a feeder. Spawn traps is where the majority of feeds take place. Obviously each map has different spawn traps, and each map is like better or worse for spawn trapping than others. But yeah, I can't really help you with the spawn trapping. You just kind of got to learn it. I mean, for dunes, you spawn over here and then over there. I mean, it's not too hard to learn. It just takes a little bit of time and just playing the maps. But yeah, spawn traps are the best place for feeding. And here's another quick tip: when you're going for that spawn trap feed, you don't want anyone spawning on you. You don't want anyone splitting your feed, right? So here's what you do: you go into squad deploy, right? And then you can right click like that, or you can click the green box here, and it disables everyone from being able to spawn on you. So when you're in their spawn and you're going for that spawn trap and you see like 6 dozen people, then you're going to be able to snatch up all those kills without any of your teammates getting a single kill, and that's what's going to allow you to hit a feed. So like if you're in the middle of like trying to get a feed, right, and someone spawns on you, and then there's a guy who's like sitting there and your teammate gets him, your feed is gonna get split. So that's really important. Just make sure you disable people from spawning on you, unless like they're your friends or whatever. But yeah, that's really important. And here's another tip: if you want to go for feeds, the best thing to do is get into a lobby sort of like this, where there's not very many high ranks. If there's like 4 rank 100s, chances are they're going to be getting kills really often, and your chances of getting a feed going to be very small. So you want to try to find a lobby. You don't want to try to find like a dead lobby or one with no players in it, but you want a lobby where there's a lot of brain dead people, so that like they stand still for you and they allow you to get your feeds. And then another tip I have for you to hit feeds, it kind of goes along with what I was saying earlier about like knowing your snipers. So some snipers are really good for feeding, such as the R700. The Scout's really good. The AWS is amazing for it. Snipers that have either quick fire rate or lots of bullets are the best for feeding. You don't want to be using a BFG, or you don't want to be using a Hecate, because they're just going to be really hard to feed with. Intervention is really hard to feed with as well, because the fire rate is just so slow. So yeah, you want to pick a sniper that you're comfortable with, that is like either fast fire rate or lots of bullets, or both ideally, which would be something like the Scout or the R700 or the AWS, stuff like that. And then finally, my last tip for feeding is that you want to get a good secondary, something that you'll be able to like kill people with in those like very, very clutch situations. Like if you're out of bullets with your sniper and you're on 5 people, I would recommend getting like a deagle or something good, that you know that you're gonna hit your shot. If you want, you can grab a Tech 9 or something, just so you don't choke it. Just get a secondary that you're really comfortable with using. If you prefer like accuracy, and if you go for accuracy a lot, then I would recommend either the Rex or the deagle. But if you're like, you hit 1 in a million shots, but that's what kills them, like go for like an M1 911 or maybe a Tech 9. It all depends on your like personal style. But yeah, I prefer going with a deagle, just because it's one shot from like a good amount of distance. So yeah, just get a good secondary that you're comfortable with and that you know you're gonna like not choke. But yeah, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. But I think that's all I have for you guys in terms of how to snipe better, how to feed better. So yeah, I really hope this encourages you to start sniping if you don't, or it just helps you get better at sniping if you already snipe and you want to get better. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.